Although you'll see chart illustrations in this video, I'm creating them after I say what I'm saying now. So everything I'm saying is coming from my memory of the respective charts. So please bear with me if here and there I pause to collect my thoughts and access the correct memories. The first chart is Mitch McConnell's, who has an early Pisces sun currently being conjoined by Jupiter, which in fact will make a station close to that sun around the summer solstice. This is really good for Mitch. He's feeling pretty strong right now. Jupiter always helps, no doubt about that. And so he's probably enjoying his role as Dr. No, putting a brake on Joe Biden's agenda, if not perhaps totally halting it, or so he thinks, because this Jupiter conjunction, which provides pretty good assistance, is in force until August, whereupon it'll retrograde back into Aquarius, and things are going to get more difficult for Mitch then. Now, meanwhile, we're also looking a year and a half away or so at the 2022 elections. And we notice in late 2022, in November, Jupiter is making a station very late in Pisces. And on first glance, you say, well, that's good because for Mitch, good for Mitch, he's a Pisces. It's on his sun sign. That's good, generally speaking. The problem is, from those degrees, it opposes his natal Neptune, which is the co-ruler of Pisces, and that is not nearly as good. In fact, is often very problematic when you're challenging Neptune in a tight situation like that. And Saturn, by then, is challenging Mitch's Mars, because it'll have crossed those degrees, even though it's not quite there at election time, but it's definitely in play. Meanwhile, we've got McCarthy, who has Pisces elevated in his chart. That's a career sign, and you would think Jupiter going through Pisces should also be good. Even Neptune up there as well. You get a sense that you put that together with Saturn in Aquarius near his midheaven, and you think, well, maybe this is high times. Maybe he's going to get a position of authority. But then you see that the late Jupiter, super late in Pisces, is actually opposing his Mars. And Saturn at the same time, around election time, is squaring his Neptune. That's not nearly as good. You're getting into some pretty serious complications that could easily indicate a no answer. Even the position of transiting Mars, which at that time turns out to be in its retrograde motion, which tends to make it more intense. But in Gemini, in the 24th plus degree, it's a little too close to those Virgo planets, so I don't like that either. So McCarthy's situation is a little questionable. But here's the crazy part. You look at Joe Biden's chart, and you realize that, yes, he's got Saturn in play then too. He has Saturn now, right? But he had Saturn in January. He's been dealing with Saturn for quite some time. He had Saturn in 2020 when it was opposing his Jupiter. And he's doing fairly well. He's got a lot of work. He's got some problems, but he's doing fine. But the really amazing thing is that late Jupiter in Pisces is trining Joe's late Venus and Sun. And not only that, it's making a station in November. So this kind of astrology is usually very happy astrology, successful, victorious, winning astrology. So my question is, why would Joe Biden be happy in November of 2022? Because he lost the Senate? That doesn't sound logical, because he lost the House, because he lost the House and the Senate. I don't know. You tell me.